notes from my 2022 reading of The Power of Failure by Fran Tarkenton. The Power of Failure, Succeeding in the Age of Innovation. So I read this in approximately March 2022. It was a pretty quick read for me. I got it from the King County Library System. I got the copy at Shoreline Library. It was on the shelves and I picked it up. I put this one on hold. It doesn't actually say what library branch it came from. Sometimes there's like a little label on it, sometimes it's not. So it's King County Library System, Washington State, United States, American Plant Earth, the original. I am Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle. And so it's a business book and talks about kind of his business pursuits and the power of failure. But it's also a little bit of an autobiography slash memoir conveyed along with business pursuits. So he brings in his own life experience and kind of pieces his story together a bit. So it's kind of a hybrid in that sense. Not everybody does that. In having read a number of business books, sometimes they pull in examples of other people or business types or that kind of stuff, or make up scenarios. So to choose kind of his own life story is, while not a full-on autobiography slash memoir, it was kind of a mix. And Fran Tarkenton is a American football player and businessman, but kind of really emphasizes the American football as the sport player kind of. And so this is the 2015 Regnery Publishing edition hardcover. I'll put the ISBN in the video description. And so revisiting what I remember from my reading. I'm filming this on Sunday, 12 May 2024. So that's the introduction, book notes. It's got a picture of the dude, I'm guessing, on the front. He's even got his wedding band on. And name, title. I liked it. Dressed up with it, kind of in thinking about him being an American football player. But this is also like a business thing, so it extends beyond the sport, so to speak. I like the name of the book and the concept. It was a quick read, and let's see. He did instead of author name and name of book at the top, it's the name of the book and then the name of the section. So like there's different sections in the book, and then the page numbers are at the top. The spacing was, it was a quick read. So like, and the font, it wasn't like, it was bigger but not necessarily large, I would say. Yes. There's sections, an appendix, and an index. Design wise, I liked it. It was there are visuals, so it includes pictures from his football and business days. So that was kind of cool. It fits a kind of an autobiography slash memoir, but again, kind of through a business kind of lens. Reading notes. When I choosing this, I think the things kind of on my mind were, well, the one thing was like the power of failure. Like I quit a #1 graduate program with no degree, and so that was like, this was like, yeah, I accepted failure and I failed. I didn't get my degree. So this was one that was kind of like helping me settle on that. And then I was also thinking about like business pursuits while I have my YouTube channel. Can that apply? Is that applicable on like the whole channel or per video or metrics or stuff like that? Is there anything that stood out to me? Yeah, he kind of made a point of knowing when to pull the plug and like on something, like it's not working. And my only thing on that was like being cautious on pulling it too early. And so I was like, well, do I have any now? So I was thinking of like with YouTube, my goal is not to have my videos deleted. So that was kind of like stuff I was thinking about, and actually just reflecting on quitting with no degree. I had communicated the potential of me quitting with no degree public on Twitter in May 2019, and then quit in October 2019. So, and it was something I talked openly about with friends and family, I think people, including people at the institution. So it wasn't like a surprise or anything like that in that sense. And I think the first time somebody actually told me, he was like, you should just quit. If I were in your position, I would just quit, was back in like 2 years before I quit in 2017. And so there was like, in reading through this, like regaining confidence of like, no, I didn't just listen to the person and quit. I was like, no, I want to stick with it. I want my degree. But then like in the 2 years, I kind of did actually go through, do I want to be affiliated with this place? And like, maybe I should work outside of the department in a different department on campus. And I actually did that kind of stuff. So kind of testing to make sure I wasn't pulling the plug too early, this kind of thing. More recently, I think of, I've had this a bank account for like over 15 years of my life, and the bank has like had problems, and then I moved to California and I got a bank down there because they didn't have the bank I have up here in Washington State down there. And I continue to only have problems with the Washington bank. So like when I traveled, when I got the device I'm filming this with my iPhone XS back in 2019, it had problems paying with the card. For whatever reason, it decided to enact something it had never enacted before. You know, like, we're not gonna let you buy it because you're not in Washington State. And I was just like, this has not ever happened with this. Or if it was a while ago. Yeah, and so I was just like, what? And then I notified them I was going to Scotland, you know, United Kingdom later in 2019, and I notified my other bank, and only the Boeing Employee Credit Union, BECU, did not, my card did not work, cards. And I was just kind of like, I've notified you guys, I'm relying entirely on my other bank right now because somebody didn't do their job or whatever. And then last month I did a transfer with a memo, transfer my friend Adam Petey related, and it processed just fine. And I tried to do a transfer today with transfer my friend Hubert Coates related, and it was like not fine. So I'm like, so essentially I have to put Adam Petey or Caleb Dressel on a memo line to get my money transferred. And they had removed like a transfer option and stuff like that. And I was just kind of like, and there was no communicated reason why I couldn't have a certain memo line. I'm like, thinking forwards, if I'm living with my boyfriend and he's transferring me money, or I'm transferring him money, so say I'm living with my boyfriend Josh Kerr, I want to be able to transfer money and have a memo that's where it went, right? So I'm going, maybe I need to cut this credit union from my account, or like from my life, right? If I move in with my boyfriend Josh Kerr, perhaps we do not go with Boeing Employee Credit Union for a financial services, so to speak. If I can't put my boyfriend and my boyfriend's name on a memo line, there's a serious problem there, especially when it just comes across as, you know, the financial institution throwing a petty temper tantrum and literally communicating no reason. They also have not posted a transaction, the one where I got a new wireless charging stand. They haven't even posted it as pending, and typically they call if there's activity they want to verify. They have not done that this time. So they're just like failing on all fronts, and have been for years. When I made the most money of my life, and when I make what I make now, like $30 every other week cleaning the house. I'm like, when it fails me at the top, it fails me at the middle, it fails me at the bottom, because I've had stuff like this kind of recurring with my time with it. Though these are kind of big examples, not now, but like, maybe they'll pull the plug on me. Maybe that's what they're communicating. That's how it comes across, right? We're gonna censor you, and you can't write the truth in your memo lines. And so I'm like, maybe they're pulling the plug on me. So we can pull the plug on things, but you know, at UC Berkeley, they were trying to get rid of me as fast as possible. They wouldn't even let me write my own blurb about my research. They were like, you're such a failure. We want you out as fast as possible. And that's how it came through at the end. It was just a race to get me out, right? Kick me out with no degree, or quit with no degree. So I chose the quit with no degree. That's, yeah, so maybe the same thing with Boeing Employee Credit Union. So yeah, but that was thinking through the past. This book helped me settle. I made the right choice with the University of California, Berkeley. And unfortunately, you know, over 4 years later, they have not pursued me. So we know for sure that they agree. So kind of back-acting proof they were gonna quit me with no degree anyway. So there we go. So in conclusion, it was a good book. I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. As notes from my 2022 reading of The Power of Failure by Fran Tarkenton is The Power of Failure, Succeeding in the Age of Innovation, full